Good evening. How are you? Well, Thomas Jefferson says the temperature is 71. I can't dispute it. And the humidity is 35, although it looks like rain. But we had rain yesterday and it looked like rain, so we'll see. But right now it's fine. The wind is at 3.2 miles an hour. Not bad. Well, let's start with, there are a whole number of things that Trump's getting wrong. And you would expect that at some point the weight of his perfidy would plunge him into hell. But there it is. It just goes to show that there's nobody out there except us to force people to make a reckoning for what they've done wrong. But let's go into a couple of things. Let's talk about Trump shooting up boats so far away that they couldn't possibly have anything to do with drugs coming to America. And Ecuador has released a man who survived a U.S. strike on a submersible as part of Trump's program. So what did Ecuador do? They said there's no evidence of a crime. Now, 2 crew members were killed in this situation in which the guy in the submersible that survived it is not being prosecuted. So what does that say about our fearless leader? Yeah, Trump stuff. He goes out and he can blow up people with bombs, without ever checking it. This is the thing, the course of irresponsibility, the craven behavior, seemingly sometimes to just do it on impulse, and the impulse is fed by, will this cause pain? I think he likes that. He enjoys people hurting. And maybe this is his competition to be with the great ogres of history, who ultimately cause so much death and destruction and hurt and fear. That's his aim. And it also appears the way he's dismantling some of the finest things in America, going from culture to education to medical insight to scientific accomplishments. He just wants to smash everything. This is a man without a fiber of being who has any appreciation for what's beautiful or kind or loving. And that is, you would think, enough to propel us to resist. You would think these people who ran to be senators and congressmen would be out in the streets screaming themselves. But they hide. They hide like children who've disappointed their Trump parent. And if they don't please him, he'll take away their breakfast cereal or something. We had Elon Musk, and this is interesting in a way. These guys are always teaching us what we should be doing when they don't do it themselves. That's obvious. I mean, whether it's lying or committing crimes, giving pardons out. So Elon Musk, he's the NASA man, right? He wants his SpaceX moon trip to go on. But you know what? It's behind schedule. And so Trump's man of the hour is going to perhaps take somebody else instead. Isn't that good? So, and then we have, as you woke up to your morning newspaper, or all of us who posted pictures of it, you got Trump tearing down the White House, literally tearing it down. And what is he going to put in its place? A ballroom. This man, I could understand it if he could dance, but standing there just moving your arms, I don't think that's dancing. I think that's a man who has illusions of how he appears, whether it be his Cheetos-colored face or his huge girth or his concerns about the Time magazine pictures. Hey, don't eat a McDonald's today. And he's prepared to even challenge the physics of his health. And I have no tears for whatever he does to himself. But I do have a large concern, a fight against what he's doing to the nation, what he's doing to our people, what he's doing to our history. That's not acceptable. So we have, well, Trump is literally cutting food for children, jobs across the nation, health care compromised in just a few days from now. And Trump is doing what? He's building a ballroom. Let him eat cake. That was for a guillotine. She paid for that. And that's what we're going to have here. We're going to have people suffering. And the question is, what is the comeuppance? When does karma turn with a bitterness, a fury to back this guy off? And so now what do we have? Even these guys are so afraid of thought, any kind of thought, independent thought, things they can't grasp. Well, if you're a moron, you can't grasp it. Oh my God, he said the word moron. Is that possible? Could any of these people be morons? Well, look at it. One has got something crawling around in his brain telling him things about vaccines. We have Trump, who thinks you can spray the stuff you give to ivermectin that you give to animals to clear out their stomachs and it goes on and on. I mean, the range of stupidity is so expansive. You'd almost think it was a serial TV show that was being put on to amuse us, because as we're watching, we don't say, oh, that's outrageous, that wouldn't happen. It's like his version of the movie Destination. Things keep going wrong, except it's not a fiction. They go wrong because he doesn't plan. He doesn't investigate. He doesn't do what's necessary. He's mentally compromised. He knows so little even before the mental compromise. So what did they do at the Department of Defense? They tried to limit the books, 600 books that children could have access to. Well, a judge ordered that they restore those books. The ACLU sued on behalf of the servicemen so that the kids could have these books. Now, you could list every day the 10, 20, 30 things this child in the West Wing, what he's doing. So Trump steals, for example, Kenny Loggins' fighter jet meme for his flight against Saturday, that is, against no kings, he appearing, Trump, as a king, spreading shit over people who would protest against him. Now, even the coverage is amazing to me. People who study to be journalists, the breaking story, where are they? What are they doing? Everybody has a shallow profile, slips the punch, avoids the ultimate conclusion. It's not acceptable. And then proof that these people are not all there. The chaos is affecting the conversation, our national conversation. Teachers fear children chanting 6, 7. Now, this fear of numbers, maybe it goes back to the algebra equations they couldn't solve. Or maybe they're just afraid of the children they're supposed to be teaching. Or maybe they're afraid if they don't get anxious about any change that happens in the schoolroom, they'll lose their jobs. But apparently, one of the sources of 6, 7 is it originates in a rap song that, Generation Alpha, I don't know, has glommed onto it. But come on. There have been expressions all through time among students and adults and cultures and so forth. These people are so rigidly stupid, it's hard to believe. And oh yeah, we're taught not to say stupid, not to say moron, not to say incorrigibles. These guys deserve all of that. Call them what they are. Treat them for what they are. Don't for a moment pretend that these people have any inclination to do what's right. Anybody who votes for a Republican in this election in November, and any time before there has been a dramatic change in the Republican Party, is voting and supporting the demolition of our republic. It's not acceptable. And Trump is no sooner going to go into a cage fight with Putin than I'm going to wrestle a bear this afternoon. And here's the thing about these guys. Trump was going to get together with Putin and, I don't know, talk him off his position, I suppose. You know, Trump, the great peacemaker, which is, you know, if you're not really a peacemaker, you can't be a peacemaker. The guy is a public spectacle of hate and fear and trouble and pain. And, you know, we just have to accept him for that and get rid of him. And when I say get rid of him, I'm not talking about something dark and CIA-ish. I'm talking about, we have all these tools. Turn them against this administration. Turn them against the defiance of our history and our culture. So Putin is no more going to change his position on Ukraine, and Trump is not going to pressure him to change his position. So he doesn't want to have a public meeting with Putin and be force-fed what Putin wants this wannabe tyrant to do. Oh, and here, you know, the gall of these people. Trump wants the $230 million that it cost the investigation of him for the crimes he did commit. He wants to be paid that personally. Really? And who would he bring into America? You know, he wants to have 7,500 Afrikaners. I don't have anything against Afrikaners, but I mean, what is the statement, the political statement when he does this? We want white males. I don't know if there's a woman in the group that they'd accept. Now, here's a PSA. My public service announcement goes like this. Now, I'm a vegetarian and a vegan as much as I can be. And there's a study out today that shows that meat eaters and where they eat in the large cities across America, that the more they eat beef, the more we warm the planet. Just saying. I know you've had it as a long habit. You love your meat, but it's really literally going to kill you. It's not just about the environment. And I know it's a sacrosanct thing to talk about it, but when I was about 40, I changed over entirely. And I don't know if I'll live a day longer, but I do think that my health is sustained better by the diet that I have. Diet, exercise, work, thinking, you know, and that you weather the tragedies to happen to any one of us. And Trump is just an extension of that. He's something we have to weather, we have to deal with, we have to fight back against. And those who hope it's just going to go away like magic, I don't know who those people are. I don't know how you could reach 20 and not realize life is a contact sport and it's a glorious adventure. And you have to figure out how to do both. And you can't hide from it. It's there. There are times when you want things to stop and it just can't happen. So it's no wonder that 7 million people embraced each other across this country. And 17 or so more nations also had demonstrations supporting us. That's what's good about humanity. That's what we strive to have. Who has as an objective destruction and hurting? Trump. What does it mean if people have a say in their government? It means the possibility of cooperation, of getting it right more often than not, anticipating what people need and want. And that's not Trump. And that's not his gang. It's a bunch of people with childlike negative impulses before they learn to be socialized and to care about each other. And they won't change. You can't talk to them. There are people we can talk to. There are people listening. There are people who are going to be hurting. And this is the wrong way for people to understand what's wrong with America now with this regime. So that's what I got to say. And I'll be out again tomorrow to see you guys. And have a wonderful evening. And we'll talk tomorrow. Bye-bye.